Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dylan James. How are you? Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about why your responses matter. And I want you to think about what your responses say about how you're identified, what you believe about yourself, and what you believe about this particular area of your life. How you respond to something plays a huge role in how things unfold in your life, right? And we can really think about this very logically. Okay. So, how I respond to something is either going to escalate a situation, make it worse, or is it going to de escalate a situation, neutralize it, and move it in a new direction? So, let's keep it within that scope so that it's really easy to understand, especially when it comes to kind of more, I don't want to say complex, but touchy types of situations like relationships, right? When we really like somebody. One thing that I found really useful for myself is I've really cultivated the habit of, to the best of my ability, okay, stopping, pausing, observing, and then deciding how I want to respond to something. One thing that's helped me be able to do that is even before I'm in situations, making it a habit to stabilize my nervous system. Why? Because our nervous system is either going to cause us to always be existing in a survival mode, which means we're getting easily triggered, we're reacting quickly to our environment, we're kind of intrinsically assuming the worst, right? Our bodies working in overdrive to protect us and anticipate danger and adjust how we're operating to put us into safety, right? In social situations, that may not necessarily work to our advantage, or we may be responding to things in ways that perpetuate negativity in the best way that I could say it, because it's a disproportionate reaction. Okay. So essentially, what am I saying here? If you're finding it hard to not just immediately react to the things that are going on around you, then my first word of advice would be to cultivate some sort of daily habit to stabilize your nervous system. Okay. I've talked about this on my channel multiple times. I think even on my playlist, I have one for like emotional self-regulation. So if you've never heard about nervous system regulation before, go over to the playlist section on my channel, check out emotional self-regulation. If you don't want to use my channel for information, look up nervous system regulation online. There's plenty of doctors on YouTube that talk about it. Okay, moving past that. All right, so now we're cultivating a space of inner stability. We're not getting triggered as easily. We're feeling good in our body. Now, how do we handle things? Okay. I understand when you get undesirable things popping up that it can be easy to become frustrated. So, for instance, let's say you're hanging out with somebody, it's going really well, and then they tell you, I'm not really sure I want a relationship. Okay, I want to use this example because it's actually an example that I used on my membership side today, but I think it'll help a lot of people. I want you guys to really think about why self-concept and self-image is so important and why your responses matter. So, if you're somebody that is holding beliefs like, I know my worth and my value, I believe that commitment is a normal thing for me, I believe that I have plenty of options in love, creating a loving relationship is a normal experience for me, whoever I'm with freely commits to me, they treat me with love and respect without me having to ask for it, they communicate with me consistently without me having to ask for it, they recognize my worth and my value, they prioritize me. If those are beliefs that you hold, then when somebody comes into your life and they tell you, I don't know if I'm really feeling you, instead of getting triggered and chasing them and asking them what went wrong, you're going to remain more self-identified in who you are and how you identify in this area of your life, which, in my opinion, is going to cause you to respond in a way where it's like, okay, if you don't recognize my worth and my value, you don't want to commit to me, that's fine. I know what I get out of this area of my life. You can go entertain whoever you want. I'm not going to chase you. And I want you to really think about that. Why would that also be attractive? What do we find attractive in people? We find it very attractive when somebody knows who they are, they know their worth and their value, they're able to respond to things maturely, calmly, in a stable manner. They aren't chasing, they're not desperate, and they're willing to invest in themselves and believe in themselves and remove themselves from situations that don't serve them because they're self-recognized, right? Versus somebody that doesn't necessarily have those beliefs may try to convince somebody, ask them, beg them, try to understand why they're not good enough, right? Which then translates as, I don't know my worth, my value. I don't believe commitment's a normal, consistent thing for me. I'm not feeling fully secure within myself. I believe that I have to chase love. Love doesn't work for me. Relationships aren't easy. I understand it, right? If everything's going good and somebody just kind of throws you a, like something out of the blue, okay, it's unexpected, then yeah, that might be a little bit of a knee jerker, but you're showing people how to treat you based on what you believe and feel about yourself and what you believe about a particular area of your life. So if somebody's trying to reject you, trying to convince them to not reject you is not going to really work in your favor. Maybe they might change their mind a little bit, but is it going to be sustainable? Okay. And also, do you need to go through all of that? Or is there an easier solution? Okay, bye. You're not sure? Well, I'm sure of who I am. I'm sure of what I get out of this area of my life. And if you can't recognize me at this moment, go and be with what you think might be better. I'll see you when you text me and realize you fucked up. And in the meantime, I got plenty of options and ways to spend my time and ways to identify and assume this version of me that doesn't deal with that. Same thing with like communication, okay? Consistent communication, you don't have to ask for that. Somebody following through with their plans, you don't have to ask for that. Somebody being loyal to you, kind to you, you don't have to ask for that. So if somebody's not consistently communicating with you, prioritizing you, following through with the plans they're making with you, when you respond to that and you ask for those things, I want you to really think about, what does that say about who I believe I am and what I believe about this area of my life? Is it necessary for me to ask for those things that I should be freely getting? Or is there a better way that I can adjust myself and respond to this or not respond to this and know that somebody's going to show up for me properly without me having to ask for it? It's not about forcing, manipulating, or trying to control the people in your reality. Sometimes you need to fearlessly adjust yourself so that somebody realizes you're not the one to fuck with, okay? You're not going to be sitting here waiting for them. You're not going to wait for them to prioritize you. You're not going to wait for them to find time in their day to communicate with you. You're not going to wait for them to decide that you're good enough. And it's not about playing games either. It's about really being grounded in who you are and what you believe about yourself in this area of your life. Okay. You can fix relationships, you can create specific results in your life, but it comes down to who you believe you are, what you believe about this area of your life, and how you're responding to life. Okay. So if you're having a hard time responding in that way, then again, I would suggest you looking at some things for nervous system regulation and also working on your self-image, your self-concept, and asking yourself, how does the version of me that believes this and this, whatever it is about my life, respond to this situation? Or is how I'm responding to this situation only how I want to respond to this situation that isn't identified in that way, only going to further perpetuate it? Is it going to make me look desperate? Is it going to make me look like I don't know my worth, my value? Is it going to make me look like I don't believe that love, commitment, communication is a normal thing for me? Those aren't things that you have to ask for. So really, really, really think about how you're responding to the things that are going on around you. Bring that self-awareness into it, because if you can do that, you're going to be able to turn situations around a lot more quickly. You're going to be able to adjust yourself a lot more quickly. You're going to be able to look at people's actions and adjust yourself in accordance to how you value yourself and what you believe about yourself. And instead of looking at their actions as evidence of what you're going to create in your life, you're going to be deciding who you are and what you get. Stop chasing, stop waiting, start assuming, start being, start becoming. Know it into being. Okay. All right. I love you all so much. I'll see you all later. Bye.